My Hero Academia Season 7 concluded a few months ago, I believe, or a few weeks ago, and I have been trying to catch up with this show up until this season, and I started this year with the first season. I watched a bit of that first season, and I believe season 2 for a while ago, and I was really into it at the time, but I never had like the urge to go back and complete the whole series up until this year when I started getting back into some more anime. I thought, why not I dip my toes back into My Hero Academia. And throughout my journey with this show this year and its movies, I come to find myself becoming a big My Hero Academia fan. I really enjoyed the films, even though the latest one is kind of a disappointment compared to the last three, in my opinion. And the show itself, I found to be thoroughly entertaining, engaging with really fun characters, creative action sequences, and the later few seasons becoming really hard-hitting, dramatic pieces of anime that I really enjoyed. Some dramatic fight sequences that get really brutal, and I just found myself really engrossed into the show, turning into some more darker themes and delving itself into some more tragic elements within these characters, exploring a lot of darker sides of their struggles, how they've come to be who they are. And I think that was all resonated very well within this season. I'm not going to spoil much because I still want to keep things as spoiler free as possible, since I came into this season like knowing nothing really, just enjoying it for what it is, and I don't want to ruin that experience for you. But how this season delves into many of the characters from Class 1A and who they are, and not just Class 1A, but some of the teachers, some of the other side characters. They all have their own moments to shine, and a lot of them really got beaten down hard in this season, but not without some really engrossing character development that expanded from the first season up until now in very integral ways that made you feel for the decisions they're making and how much of a toll this entire battle is taking on them, what it means for them, and why the decisions they made over the years changed who they are as people. How this class grew closer together, more so like a family than ever when they first started. And you feel their friendships, you feel their love for one another. And the show, especially this season, did a really good job of encapsulating that. But not just with its heroes, but with its villains as well. The League of Villains here are some of the most well-defined than they ever been before. And they even got some of their own character developments that have kind of ended with this season, though some of them still need to be further explored in the next one, where I feel like that's going to be a lot more focused on the central conflict with Deku, All Might, all up against All for One, and every one of the other villains. Like, it is just really awesome to see, and how the show handled these fight sequences is just so exciting. This whole season is literally one big battle, whereas with most of the other seasons you'll have like 3 or 2 arcs within one season. This is just like one entire arc, and I really love that about the season, how it took its time to actually develop all these characters within one arc. It made the class feel more fleshed out as we get to explore more of who they are, and I think it helped make this final battle feel a lot more engaging, because we know what this battle means for all these characters, and we are exploring who they are, the decisions they make. And I think the show does a really good job pacing wise, just balancing it all out. The directing itself is also fantastic. I think the battle itself doesn't last as long as I wanted it to. I wanted to go even longer, and I cannot wait for season 8 when the final season comes out to see more of this final battle. It all felt really well defined. The fights and how they transition to one fight to the next is all really cool. There's a lot of cool powers being used, but it's really the storytelling and character developments, and especially closing off some characters' arcs here that really got me, especially by the end, especially with Ochako and what she is doing in this battle as she's going up against one of the main league members. I think it is one of the most emotional moments in the entire show, and it really did get to me. And what they do with the character of All Might, I don't want to spoil, but I think it leaves off on a really cool cliffhanger that makes me cannot wait to see what they do with him by the next season. Just all in all, I know I feel like I am being vague, but I'm trying to do my best to explain just how good the season was. The brutality of the battle itself felt just right. It wasn't gruesome to an excruciating, disgusting point. It felt just as bloody and brutal as it needed to be for you to feel the impact of what's going on. There's even a lot of cool themes of classism, racism, that is sprinkled throughout this season that has been explored way before, like discrimination against people with quirks. And I think it is all really well done, and it fleshed out many of the characters and added some nuance to many of these fight sequences. Even in sequences that are not just fight sequences, it delved into a lot of important topics that help make the characters feel a lot more defined and a lot more real. And I think that was just a brilliant move on the creator's part. All in all, this second to final season was just everything I wanted it to be. There was a time where I felt like the show was getting a bit stale for me, but now I feel like the show has now picked itself back up, and I cannot wait to see what the final season has in store. I'm going to give My Hero Academia Season 7 an A. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.